there isn't a single Palestinian and very, very few individual extremist Arabs who've accepted it. Nobody's accepted it. And most of the knowledgeable people in the Western world, and already you see this clearly on social media, so many people commenting, people who know the situation are really critical of this plan, and they're actually offended by it. They're calling it a apartheid plan, a racist plan, etc. So it's not a serious initiative for Arab-Israeli peacemaking. It's a serious movement to cement the domestic political base of Netanyahu in Israel and Trump in the United States. And who was sitting in the very front row? Sheldon Adelson, this very wealthy right-wing Zionist American donor to Republican causes, and some of the Christian Zionist extremists in the U.S. who really form much of the base of Trump's political support. So we should not see this as having anything to do with bringing about a peace settlement in the region. What's not clear is what will it bring about. It'll create greater tensions, greater anger, humiliation among Palestinians. It'll subjugate some Arab leaders and humiliate them into not opposing it but not supporting it. And it just really reaffirms the colonial reality that still dominates in Palestine, but not only in Palestine.
Well, you
this
talk
is
about
what's
that
really
sentiment. Just briefly, if we can, on the wider scale, other countries, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Jordan, how are they going to see this grand plan of Donald Trump?
They're going to be mostly critical, and some of them will be careful how they phrase their criticism. So the Saudis put out a statement that I just read, and the Emiratis and others are saying things like, we welcome this initiative as a first step towards peacemaking, but peacemaking must happen with the Palestinians and the Israelis negotiating directly. So they will essentially say that it's not accepted as a context for resolving the conflict, but it is a first step because most of the Arab leaders depend heavily on the United States for security support, for economic support, and other things. And they're going to be very careful. People like the Saudis, the Emiratis, the Jordanians, the Egyptians, the Bahrainis, they're going to be very careful not to openly call this a racist apartheid plan, as most ordinary people would, because they really need the support of the U.S. And what it shows you is the terrible, terrible gulf between leaders and people in the Arab world, which is also seen in these extraordinary demonstrations all over the region, with millions of people on the street wanting to change their rulers. So this
and we'll
is
have
really
more analysis on this deal over the day. But thank you very much, Rami Khouri, speaking to us from Lebanon.